It's beautiful. People here are hurting, disoriented. And with your sister gone, you're the last standing Enclave. I hid.
You're a coward. You know that, Chuck?
During a raid, I got in a storage space and I hid.
We all are, Norm. That's why we live in a vault.
Does that make you angry?
Why does it matter?
They're our breeding pool. The ultimate expression of HRR&D, genetically selected to breed with my buds to create a class of super managers. People with positivity, people who make lemonade, people who will inherit the earth after we've wiped the surface clean.
What did I tell you, Norman?
You're living in my world. You're in over your head. You're just some malcontent who wandered down the wrong corridor. And no one is coming to save you. What hope do you have against the greatest achievement in the history of vertical integration?
We have over 100 vaults spread across America. Play out your own ideas for how to create the perfect conditions for humanity, whatever you want to do. No one needs to know.
When clever boys like you are angry, you're lucky not to have seen where that can lead.
So I heard something interesting while watching Fallout that actually left me thinking. We hear Vault Dweller Ronnie reference some Vault investors. We first hear him reference them when he's discussing he used to take lunch orders for buds when they're having a meeting about the vaults.
Let's just say I was the guy who took the lunch orders when Bud was meeting with the Vault investors.
Then later, once they're at the Vault Tech building, he's using a radio to try to contact them.
Who are you hoping to contact?
The investors.
Now, I'm personally wondering if these Vault investors are the same people Betty refers to as the Vault's High Council in Season 1. The same High Council that had Betty split some of the dwellers from Vault 33 and send them to Vault 32.
Every vault needs an overseer, which is why I have conferred with the High Council. Stephanie Harper.
Vault 32, which only recently had been covered in the massacre of its recent dwellers. Somehow perfectly clean now, well, everything except for the Overseer's Terminal, which was left smashed to bits. The same Overseer's Terminal that Steph has been trying to get into. Could these Vault investors be the same people Betty refers to as the High Council? And could they also be the ones who cleaned up Vault 32 so quickly and left it habitable for future residents? Is Steph potentially trying to make contact with these people? We know she's a Canadian insurgent, as I recently theorized, but what if whatever she ends up discussing with Hank that also allowed her access to the vaults also allowed her access to becoming in close with the Vault investors? That, or she was just keeping an eye on Hank and is following in his footsteps to try to make contact, which could end up working against her. As me and many other Fallout fans know, that when it comes to ruling over Vault Tech, there really is only one other organization, and that is the Enclave. And I'm thinking we'll see that connection next episode with the President's return. Ever wonder why he was in Vegas? Well, I personally believe it's because he or people close to him were meant to meet with Hank and collect Cold Fusion. Only Cooper happened to intercept it. And despite Barbara apparently doing the right thing, I think she's actually still playing Cooper, while simultaneously keeping him safe. I mean, think about it. Back during the Grand Court meeting where they discussed ending the world, Barbara happened to look up at a silhouette that looked very similar to the president we see now. What I'm thinking is Barbara was being honest with Cooper and truly does just want to get her family into a vault that's safe for all of them. And the only way to do that is to maintain her position within Vault Tech. But upon walking in on Cooper doing what he was doing to Hank, she probably quickly put together a loophole and a way out of the situation for everyone. Well, everyone except for the rest of the world, because essentially she, along with Cooper, told themselves the right thing to do would be to give it to a good person, a good person like Diane Welsh, who's conveniently been around Cooper quite a bit for the past few episodes. This not only allows Cooper to mend things with Barbara, but allows the initial deal they probably had with Hank and Vault-Tec to continue, which also means they were likely planning on betraying House and taking his technology any way they can. That, or Hank really was just part of a Vault-Tec deal. But then that leaves you wondering, what would have happened if he ended up giving it to Moldaver? Either way, we know the president is most likely the Enclave, and you can check out my recent video for more clarification on that. But there are a few other reasons I still don't trust Barb. 1. Why is FEV, a top secret government concoction, found on Barb's terminal when Norman's looking through it? This is likely because she's a high-ranking Vault-Tec employee. But then you also have to think that this means she likely knew of FEV's existence, which at this time period means she probably only knew the gruesome stuff. Knowing of these brutal experiments are likely why she was so desperate to get her family to one of the safer vaults. It's maybe even why they ended up in the New Vegas vaults. Still, with how FEV is being built up, you have to wonder if any of these dwellers from 31 are doomed to be taken by these investors and exposed to FEV. I could see a sequence with the Enclave showing up at the Vault-Tec building and all of them excited to see them, only to get either gunned down or absolutely taken just to be experimented on. Sort of like an homage to the original games. But who would we be losing exactly? Well, outside of personality, these vault dwellers are kind of just normal human beings. Human beings who haven't been exposed to radiation or the ailments of the wasteland, which means that makes them prime candidates for some FEV experimentation, otherwise known as prime humans. Prime normals? I don't know. Either way, these prime group stakes are likely to be doomed, with most of them being extremely clueless and easily manipulated, almost like sheep or cattle getting taken to the slaughter.
Wait, I'm actually pretty sure that the Vault-Tec handbook says that impersonating management is punishable by death.
Oh, well, if you're pretty sure the Vault-Tec handbook says that, I mean...
Or people specifically selected to become breeding stock.
They're our breeding pool. The ultimate expression of HR&D, genetically selected to breed with my buds to create a class of super managers.
Vault-Tec likely hiring any healthy or intelligent in-staff employees they could find, or even new hires that they could use to fill up these vaults, all in the hopes of creating a future of super managers, or should I say super mutants, potentially hoping that they'll maintain their cognitive nature and be able to function properly and clear out the wasteland for everyone else's return.
Super managers, people with positivity, people who make lemonade, people who will inherit the earth after we've wiped the surface clean.
Speaking of which, did you notice how many of the cryopods from Vault 31 are still left unopened? I personally thought Norman was gonna open them all up. Either way, one of these dwellers that I'm still a little curious about is Gurley here, seemingly the most recent hire of Bud's buds, and someone who doesn't appear to be as clueless as the rest. She also seems to have known or known of Barbara, considering she leads Norman over to her office in the Vault-Tec building, but she also takes a moment to study Janie's picture. Is there more going on here, or could this just be set up for when they all get turned into super mutant weapons and she one day catches up and sees Janie in person? Whatever happens, I do think that a super mutant fate is very fitting for Norman, considering he's a gamer who didn't like the society he was in within Vault 33. Yet when entering the wasteland, he finds it beautiful. This man's ready to embrace a new wild wasteland world, and I could easily see him becoming a super mutant and joining up with Ron Perlman's mutant rebellion. And despite how much I think that would be cool to see, I actually don't think that's what's gonna happen with him, as due to some trailer shots, and spoiler alert if you don't want any potential spoilers, we can piece together with the remaining context clues that Norman is likely to escape utilizing the Radroach farm, releasing them upon the dwellers, and possibly making an escape. Where will he go? Who knows? Personally, I'd like to see him go to Arroyo or Vault City. Either could be potential locations for other capitals of the NCR, potentially sparking their return. Though I do think that role more belongs to Maximus, as I theorized about in a recent video, and could easily see Norm being taken by the Enclave, perchance becoming a first-hand witness to some of the atrocities going on wherever they're hiding out. Or even seeing some of the other Enclave characters we've seen on the show, potentially characters like Steph or even Hank. I'm still left wondering what the plans are for Vaults 33, 32, and 31. If any of them are in danger, why would Hank want Lucy brought back there? Or maybe he doesn't actually care about her as much as he pretends to, and is more just focused on his ambition. This could be proven if he ends up trying to chip her at any point. Either way, let me know what you guys think. Where do you think Norman's storyline will take him? What's gonna happen with the Vault Dwellers we've been seeing throughout the show so far? And how do you think the Enclave will be reintroduced to the series? Either way, thank you for watching, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
200 years of planning in order for everything to go just right. That seems like a lot of work if you ask me.
Obsolescence. It's a heck of a thing. You know, I try and see it from your perspective. But it's hard to imagine being so dim as to be caught off guard by the inevitable.
Plans are hard. Chaos, though. Chaos is easy.
Power. More than all of human history could ever consume.
Okie dokie.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.